Masterful. Part 1. The Regal Theater's Secret. The air crackled with anticipation as Wu and Ji stood shoulder to shoulder amidst the bustling crowd. They'd never seen so many people in one place, let alone gathered for a single purpose. The grand opening of the Regal Theater, perched near the shadow of the Fire Lake volcano, promised more than mere entertainment. It promised a glimpse into greatness. "This is it," Ji whispered, his voice trembling with excitement. The theater's golden doors swung open, revealing a cavernous space glowing with lantern light. Inside, the brothers felt dwarfed by the sheer magnificence of the arena. Every detail, from the intricate carvings of mythical beasts on the pillars to the thunderous roar of the crowd, felt alive. As the opening ceremony began, the spotlight shifted to the stage. Two warriors emerged from opposite ends, their movements deliberate, their presence electrifying. "Ladies and gentlemen," boomed the announcer, "prepare to witness the clash of legends. Master Han, the Heaven's Wind Palm, versus Master Zuo, the Phoenix Blade." Wu leaned forward, his heart pounding. Master Han's serene stance radiated an unshakable calm, while Master Zuo's fiery energy seemed to crackle in the air. This wasn't just a match. It was a battle of philosophies, of wills, of destinies. The gong rang. The warriors moved. Wind and flame collided in an explosion of power so intense the crowd collectively gasped. Wu and Ji could feel the heat and the wind on their faces, as if the battle reached beyond the stage. Ji grabbed Wu's arm. "Do you think we could ever be like them?" Before Wu could answer, a chilling crack echoed through the theater. A section of the ceiling, weakened by the vibrations, began to crumble. The audience froze. Would they cheer for the battle or flee for their lives? A sharp splintering sound filled the air as more cracks snaked across the ceiling, raining dust and debris onto the stunned crowd below. A few people screamed in fear, jumping from their seats and sprinting toward the arena doors. The four martial rookies, stationed near the doors and clad in their plain gray robes, stepped aside. Though they were the lowest rank of the veiled disciplines, their eyes betrayed an unspoken respect for the power on display. The doors remained wide open, as if even these guards anticipated that some spectators might falter in the presence of such overwhelming force. On stage, the two masters paused, their gazes shifting upward to assess the crumbling ceiling. Without exchanging a word, they glanced at each other and nodded, a silent agreement. Already holding back the majority of their strength, it seemed they had decided to tone their power down even further to avoid putting the innocent at risk. Master Han took a slow step backward, his flowing white robes settling around him like a calm breeze. The faint, swirling patterns of wind seemed to ripple across his sleeves, and the air around him grew noticeably cooler. His opponent, Master Zuo, dipped his crimson blade slightly, the fiery aura surrounding it dimming to a smoldering glow. Yet even at this diminished level, their presence was suffocating. The crowd was transfixed, teetering on the edge of awe and fear. "Did you feel that heat just now?" Wu whispered, his voice barely audible over the murmurs. Ji nodded, his wide eyes glued to the stage. It felt like the sun was right here, in the room. "And now," Wu added, his voice faltering, "now it's like standing on a mountaintop with the wind howling past." The brothers' skin tingled as the lingering energy of the masters' clash pulsed through the theater. Each wave of power carried with it a unique sensation. Master Han's wind left a fleeting chill, while Master Zuo's fire left a fleeting warmth, as if the room itself couldn't decide whether to freeze or burn. On stage, the two warriors resumed their positions. The crowd collectively held its breath, as if the smallest sound might break the fragile balance. Master Han raised his hands and the air around him began to shimmer. It wasn't just wind. It was as though the very fabric of the atmosphere bent to his will. Each movement of his arms was deliberate, calculated, and impossibly graceful. Master Zhou responded by stepping forward, dragging the edge of his blade along the stage floor. Sparks flew in every direction, igniting the air in brief, dazzling bursts. With each step, the ground beneath him seemed to smolder, faint wisps of smoke curling up from his boots. "This isn't a fight," Ji murmured, his voice trembling. "It's art." But Wu wasn't so sure. His hands gripped the edge of his seat as an inexplicable tension filled the room. The theater seemed alive, its wooden beams creaking under the strain of the battle's residual energy. Suddenly, Master Han's voice rang out, a calm, commanding tone that sliced through the oppressive silence. Enough, Zuo. These people came to witness the beauty of martial arts, not its destruction. Master Zuo smirked, his fiery eyes gleaming. Beauty without risk is hollow. Let's give them a glimpse of what true mastery can achieve. He raised his blade high, the flames around it roaring back to life. The heat was so intense that the first row of seats visibly warped, the varnish bubbling and steaming. The crowd erupted in gasps and cries, a mixture of awe and panic spreading like wildfire. Master Han didn't hesitate. He extended one hand and a wall of wind surged forward, extinguishing the flames in an instant. The sheer force of the wind caused the first few rows to lean back as if struck by a physical blow. And then it happened. A sudden silence fell over the theater, unnatural and deafening. Wu and Ji instinctively held their breath. The stage beneath the masters groaned. A single crack appeared, running jaggedly between them. For a moment, neither moved. Then, as if in slow motion, the crack widened. The brothers exchanged panicked looks. "What's happening?" Ji asked, his voice rising. Before Wu could respond, the stage split apart with an earth-shaking roar, revealing a gaping chasm beneath. A faint, glowing red light emanated from the depths below, and the unmistakable sound of bubbling magma reached their ears. The crowd erupted into chaos, people scrambling for the exits. Master Zuo grinned, his voice a low rumble that carried through the panic. "It seems Fire Lake wishes to join our performance."